Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you with another video. All right, so trying to break down the logic behind the Quentin Grimes, Caleb Martin, and the second-round pick trade. It's Grimes and Martin headed to Philly for Caleb Martin, and it just comes down to contractual circumstances. That's the logic behind it. The Dallas Mavericks did not want to pay Grimes the amount that he wants, which is $12 million a year. They didn't want to pay that, and so they ship him out for Caleb Martin, who just signed a 4-year, $35 million contract, which is about $8 million a year. So they save a couple $1 million for this situation by getting Caleb Martin and moving Grimes to Philadelphia. And of course, Philadelphia has an expiring contract of Grimes to deal with. Try to either renegotiate or just let that come off the books. And given the fact that Philadelphia has so many situations that are so capped up, having them over the apron with a team that's not really that great, this allows for them to see some money coming off the books at the end of the year. And for the rest of the year, it gives them a pretty damn talented player in Quentin Grimes, who's been playing great everywhere he goes. Especially Dallas. I thought he was fantastic in Dallas. That's why I really need to see what the logic was, because when I first saw this trade, I thought it was absolutely absurd, especially off the heels of the Luka Doncic trade. It just looked like more Nico nonsense. But this is just it speaks to what the ownership is interested in doing. They don't want to pay people they don't believe is worth it, no matter if it's a $345 million Luka deal or a $12 million Quentin Grimes deal. So I think it's a huge mistake not paying Grimes. I think he's clearly proven that he's worth $12 million a year by the way he's playing the Dallas Mavericks. I understand that they don't really have a role for him now that they brought in Max Christie, but you replaced him with somebody who's going to still fight those same positions for minutes in Caleb Martin. So it's like, they didn't really exactly open up any space for Max Christie or Najee Marshall or who else is Jaden Hardy and all these different people that are all playing the shooting guard position. So for Quentin Grimes, I think he's going to have a lot of opportunity in Philadelphia. I think he's worth every penny of that $12 million. The way he's been playing with the upside he shows, I think Dallas should have been very happy to play him that, especially with their circumstances. But for him, I'm glad he gets out of Dallas because of several reasons. One, because their fan base is mad at the team, and they traded Luka Doncic away. And two, because they really didn't have the role for him going forward with now Max Christie pushing people. Spencer Dinwiddie in that position as well. So they got a lot of stuff to consider. Klay Thompson. There's so many people playing that same position. But from what I read in regards to ESPN, they felt that Quentin Grimes was along the same lines as Najee Marshall, which I just don't agree with. I don't have Najee Marshall and Quentin Grimes headed in the same direction. Not at all. Especially given the way Quentin's been playing and his age. He's not the same player as Najee Marshall. So I don't know, man. I looked up the Adelsons, and they have a really distinctive history. And so, I'm not really overly surprised now that I know who the ownership of the Dallas Mavericks is. It's some of the stuff I'm seeing, to be completely honest with you. Not overly surprising. And it just is what it is, man. At this point, I kind of want the players that I like out of there. Max Christie, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving. I want them out of that organization. I don't like where that thing is going. They starting to be cheap. And to be honest with you, I just don't think, hey buddy, how you doing? I just don't think that's a good thing for players that I like to be in that organization right now. I don't think so. I wish Mark Cuban would not have sold his shares to that person, if I'm being honest with you. But hey man, however it goes, I'm glad Luka's over here with us. I think he's in a much better situation. Jeanie Buss is a fantastic owner, a good human. So I think Luka's going to be in good hands here. I really believe that. And we're dedicated to our superstars. That's our MO. So Luka's going to be treated like he's supposed to be treated here. He's going to get the money he's supposed to get here. We're going to win with his talent level and with LeBron James. And I just that's what I think from our perspective. But you know, as far as the Quentin Grimes conversation, I think you know, as I've already said, I think he's worth it, man. I think he's when you look at the contracts that are going around the NBA, Quentin Grimes is a player who's probably worth more than $12 million a year going forward for the next 3 or 4 years. Now, if they couldn't agree on terms of the years, that's one thing. But to say that they don't think he's that guy, for 12 mil, the way he's playing, yeah, man, he is that guy. At Caleb Martin, on the other hand, $8 million a year, I am not a big fan of the Martins. They have good games, though. There are games where they play well, both of them. They're all right. But I am not a big fan of either one of the Twins. I think they're role players. $8 million worth, probably. Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna crap on the contract so bad. 4 years. I don't need that on my books personally. I don't see that as an upgrade in value when you bring a 4-year, $8 million Caleb Martin deal to you, and you refuse to negotiate a 3-year, $12 million Jaden Hardy deal. I don't agree with the concept there. I don't build my team that way. If I'm moving anybody, it's probably going to be Najee Marshall in this situation. I just don't value him like that. I think he's a nice defensive player. A little older now, role player to his core. I think the upside of Jaden Hardy and the upside of Quentin Grimes and Max Christie is just so much more valuable to me than Najee Marshall. So much more valuable to me. I'm just being honest. Najee been in the league for 9 years now. Nice defender, okay shooter, nothing special, you know what I mean? Kind of like a poor man's Dylan Brooks or something. Like, it's not. That ain't value. $8 million a year, or whatever he's making. I'm not really sure what he's making, but I would not have had any problem giving him up so that I can make good on Quentin Grimes. 12 million a year. I don't think that's horrible at all. I think that's probably of value. So yeah, man, Dallas is doing what Dallas is doing. I don't know, man. I don't know. I know they got some good stuff in Anthony Davis and Max Christie, because those are guys that I was hoping to have on my team for years to come. So far be it from me to say that they're not doing good with what they just acquired, but I don't know if I just see things the way they see it. I just don't. I don't see things the way they see it. Now, if it turns out to be a championship team for them, then cool. I learned lessons from new data. You know what I mean? You teach me a lesson. Many people have taught me lessons. Hell, I had to humble myself just 2 days ago when the Luka Doncic trade was made, because I told people earlier that day that I didn't think much was going to happen in the trade market other than small stuff. And look, at the most meaningful trade in the history of the sport was done under this collective bargaining agreement. I didn't see it coming. Nobody saw it coming. I was wrong. And if you want to say I don't know what the hell I'm talking about because of it, I can't argue with that. I'm not always right, and there's a lot to learn here, but one thing's for certain, there's movement. So it is what it is. I was not right about that. But I've been right about a lot of other things. And so I keep my confidence. But yeah, man, that's what it is. I wonder about what the direction Dallas is trying to go in as a franchise. I wonder what else they're going to try to do in terms of shaving salary, and how they view certain things worth being certain salaries is kind of weird to me. And I just don't. I'm poised to see what happens here, not necessarily work out for them. So yeah, man, that's what I got to say, man. Quentin Grimes, he's going to find his way in this league. He definitely belongs in the NBA. He's getting better. I thought he was going to be one of the better players in that rotation. Him and Max Christie were probably my two favorite shooting guards that they got right now. I would have kept both of them people together personally, and probably shaved off everything else in that shooting guard position, and maybe added somebody step in front of them, a star or something if I could. Somebody like Slovenian guy that we just got over here in LA would have been a great guy to have in front of those people. But that's neither here nor there. They couldn't have gotten that done without throwing in Max Christie anyway. So whatever the case may be, I just don't assess. I don't agree with the assessment, man. What can I say? Video 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.